Any minute now, the NTSB will release its final report on the deadly mid-air collision near National Airport.
It's been an emotional day, and Thursday marks 1 year since the tragedy which took 67 lives. Many of the families who lost their loved ones are here in D.C. for this announcement. Again, a really tough day, just gut-wrenching.
Yeah, our chief investigative reporter Eric Flack, he just stepped out of that briefing room. And Flack, we know these families, once again, they are sitting through yet another difficult moment.
Yeah, and maybe Zoe, just a couple moments ago, getting some answers. Just minutes ago, the NTSB laying out their probable causes for that mid-air collision. They include placement of that helicopter route so close to a runway approach path, air traffic controllers over-reliance on what's known as visual separation, what's called see and avoid, rather than traditional safety practices, as well as the Army's lack of a fully implemented safety management system and an overall limitation of traffic awareness and collision alerting systems throughout this entire process. They talked about systemic failures within the Federal Aviation Administration throughout this day of hearing and testimony. We do want to warn everybody, the NTSB did use some renderings and reenactments of this mid-air collision, which are included in our report. Using simulations often difficult for family members to watch, the NTSB walked through the final moments before American Airlines Flight 5342 collided with an Army Black Hawk helicopter on January 29th of last year. The animations showed runway lights clearly visible to that passenger plane just seconds before impact.
American 4782 by pass number and visual. American 472.
Investigators faulted FAA staffing decisions that left a single air traffic controller at Reagan National Airport simultaneously managing up to a dozen aircraft, planes, and helicopters in the minutes before the mid-air collision.
Pass 25, pass bond is CRJ.
This club has a aircraft in separation.
All 67 people on board the two aircraft were killed. Investigators say alerts were sounding throughout the control tower, warning the aircraft were in danger of colliding, but the warnings were never communicated to the pilots. If they had been, investigators believe the accident could have been avoided. They blamed insufficient controller training.
Were they set up for failure?
Panel 3 is going to hit this nail on the head.
I'm asking you.
They were not adequately prepared to do the jobs they were assigned to do.
The NTSB also repeatedly faulted the Federal Aviation Administration for ignoring warnings dating back to 2018 about near misses between airplanes and Army helicopters in the exact same airspace where the crash happened.
The data was there.
Act on it. Do something. Save someone's life. We can't have this happen again. Just do something.
Matthew Collins drove through the night from Boston to be at Tuesday's NTSB hearing, determined to hear what investigators say caused the crash that killed his 42-year-old brother, Christopher.
Obviously it's sadness, but it's anger. This should never have happened.
The NTSB board members right now continue to debate on the wording of the probable cause that they will release, and then they move on to the all-important safety recommendations, which is, of course, the NTSB's job to put forward recommendations, suggestions on how to prevent something like this from ever happening again. Guys, back to you.
The heartbreaking thing about all these recommendations is that it always takes a life lost for these recommendations to be adopted. So sad.
And really tough looking at that simulation as
and
well.
Hopefully they listen to the
and knowing how close they were to being reunited with their families.
They had no idea there was even any danger there.
You could see those lights.
They sure could. All right, Flack, thank you.